Ladies and gentlemen, I am Yusril. It is the 26th of March 2014 and welcome once again to the Tribble Timewarp for what we now know to be Season 9. We're back in the Undine Sphere space battle zone and there have been a few additions to the map with the latest patch. The first thing is that there's now a breadcrumb mission in play at the end of the Solenoid Dyson Sphere. You'll notice that the Borg and Undine missions are still missing. I assume this is because they've been hauled in for a rework. However, fluidic destruction is now in play after a step between stars. So let's hail this. And the Undine are basically, yeah, as I say, this is our breadcrumb mission to get from Sub-Commander Kale to Admiral Chell Rex. So that's a quick and easy completion just to get you up to speed. Presumably there will be missions following that once you arrive in the zone. The USS Charon, I have to point out that I thought the usual spelling for that was C-H-A-R-O-N, Charon rather than Charon. Then again, I may be missing a reference somewhere. And of course, Admiral Rex is much as he was last time. These rewards have apparently been fixed, so we'll see if that is actually working these days. What is happening here is the same. We intend to destroy as many planet killers as possible. Talk, for some reason, despite the fact that I am in the Space Undine battle zone, it's kind of giving me an option to go straight there. Not quite sure if that needs to be tidied up or not. Anyhow, we checked the Romulan version of this zone last time. Basically, shove a black hole into the singularity. We've got the Federation and the Klingon versions to have a look at. So let's start with the Federation version. Let's go find this zone. Also, we'll just zoom out a bit. Nothing really of interest there. Actually, do we have a galaxy map for here? No. Pity. Okay, fly near point to begin progress. How does this work? I assume it's going to be zone capture. Activate the Federation device to begin closing the portal. It might I help suppose. Okay, so you don't have a device to activate as such, and we already have bioships closing in. Device will progress if players outnumber Undine, and if we don't, it unprogresses pretty sodding quickly. Right, let's start then. Begins the killing. We'll have to deal with these guys first. Start with the Nicor bioship. Cannons for rapid fire. Just evade over, and we have a fluidic rift. These have been tweaked as well. They should no longer be spammed quite so much, to the extent that if one is in play, the ships near it will not attempt to use it. If two of them pop it simultaneously, which can still happen, then the game will stop spawning the puddles once the 10 of them in play. So let's just keep this going. Come on. No, you don't. All fire, all fire. Can't quite float into that. Oh, there we go. Right, so allies outnumber Undine. Device is progressing. Let's see what happens next. Device is progressing very slowly, it would seem. It's just creeping up. In fact, this bar is much more reliable than the one over the point. Oh, didn't mean to fly into the puddle. Come on, evasive maneuvers, punch out the other side. Yuck. That stuff is icky. Fortunately, an engineering team will clear it. I assume we send the guys out to hose it off the hull. Now, the puddle is orbiting counterclockwise, so I should probably start doing the same. Preferably before I fly straight back into it. That would be good. Come on. There we go. So you can't just sit still and let it happen. You actually have to keep your ship moving, which guarantees that anybody foolish enough to try to camp one of these and leech off it is going to get a very nasty surprise. Now we have another Dromias incoming. We'll put it down and get the runabouts into play as well. 1/3 of the way there. Shortly to be somewhat reduced. Rapid fire. Oh. Cool. Bioship. Progress is halted. And we've no target bearing there, so we'll have to fly past. Just keep the damage coming. We'll also do a quick evasive maneuvers to rotate round. And there we go. Boom. Right, now we have a Dromus biocruiser on our tail, which is a little bit, and it just kicked us into the puddle. Cunning little sod. Right. Hard over. Beam turret's doing its job. This is why Galaxy X's really don't do well unless you have source of separation on top. Rapid fire. Cruiser is armed up. Come on. Come on. Oh, great. It's full again. And we'll just keep this going. Oh, it's rifted out. Where are you coming from now? Handy, right under my main guns. Thank you so much. And we'll just quickly use the lance to get a kill. There we go. He's dead. And you notice we now have blue lines, handy telling us that we are progressing again. Cut to half speed, keep the orbit going, and remember that I need to empty my inventory. So, pretty manageable for single players, although I have to admit that escorts and battle cruisers, and of course the Scimitar, would have a much easier time from the sheer amount of firepower they get to bring to bear on this. Okay, we have more incoming. Mixed up wave this time. 3 Nikor bioships. Well, right is 2/3 complete. Let's make sure it stays that way. Give me an archery rift. Up. Come on. Boom. Thank you. Got one. Second one gets through. Space maneuvers, please. And we'll go for engineering team as well. I need to break clear of this puzzle. Come around. And smack you. Which didn't entirely work because he's just nipped behind me anyway. Fine, we have forward guns on this Nikor. Down you go. Down you go, mate. Thank you. Now let's just keep damage coming. Even the turrets pack a decent one. Nikors in this stage have got 24,000 health, so they're not exactly hardcore. They're basically frigates in the equivalent. Boom. Allies outnumber Undine. Device progressing. Now, are we about to skid out of the area? Yes, we are. We're also... There we go. Just quickly toggle up to full impulse. And then remember that this thing turns like a brick. So progress has paused just for a second while we get turned round. Engage weapon efficiency. Okay, so basically you have to be in the little arena, for want of a better term. So, maintaining speed and turn rate. We're about, yeah, we're a little over 2/3 of the way there at the moment. Let's just keep it coming, see what we get. This looks like this standard single player wave. Fire everything. Okay, and since you want to fly in front of me, we'll just pin you in place. Have a tractor beam. Need to be a little careful here because that puddle is gaining. Boom, right, done. Fine, short and sweet. Back into the orbit, staying one step ahead of the puddle. While we're on the topic, obviously the Undine do attempt to retake the points every so often. The delay before they try that is now 6 minutes, so it's a little more generous than it was. You are no longer immediately counter blitzkrieg. The device is ready. Activate it to shut the rift. Okay. I actually need to get this thing turned around, which is going to take a little while. And oh, the power is failing very slowly. So, activate device. And boom. The rift is shut down. Excellent. You get the Tachyon Technician option, and yeah, the reward is working. 60 dilithium ore, 10 Undine marks, and a bit of expertise. So, simple enough. Also, we have some backup, and I don't remember calling those guys in, so I'm assuming they're just going to loiter and try to do something other than die horribly if the Undine counterattack. So, next up, the Klingon version. What do we got? A Tortara cruiser. Oh, there. Oh, right. Repair disabled ship. All stop, all stop, all stop. There we go. Okay, that's another expert. And you get some help. Spaceside assistance. Lead on and we shall follow. To certain death, then. Now, what do we got here? Okay, so activate Klingon satellites to disable the Undine portals. Each satellite can emit for 3 minutes. Open fire. Okay, so we have one. Hard round. Have a lance. Boom. Why am I not surprised that the Klingon version of shutting these portals involves throwing a big gun at it? Let's face it, each race's approach to this is basically fairly stereotypical for the race. The Romuans threw a black hole at it. The Federation threw technobabble at it. The Klingons throw a freaking huge gun at it. The only way they could make this more Klingon was if somebody took a Vulture, strapped a 100-meter long bat'leth to the front, and then had a crew of disgraced Klingons fly it into the rift while drunk out of their skulls on Warnog, and, oh, I don't know, singing the Warriors' song as well. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Cryptic? Let's have it. 100-meter long bat'leth attached to the front of a Vulture. You know it makes sense. Activate stage. Oh boy. We have incoming. Left that a little too long. So we'll just call in the fleet. Evade round. And hard over. Boom. And come on. Boom. Okay, and then there's a third one. Handily he's overshot, so we'll just slap a tractor beam on there. And finish you off. Yeah, definitely going to have to get either the Excelsior or the Avenger back out for more episodes of the Time Warp. Turning the Galax around without source of separation is just painful. Okay, stage 1, activate. Okay, that's kind of fancy. Stage 2. Activate. Stage 3. Fire. Come on. Okay, we now have 3 minutes to close the next one. Let's get to it. Fire everything. That's one. Now, where's the other Nickel? Right in front of us. Handy. Okay, auxiliary, Alarchi, scan, and tac team. Let's just pour it on. Dromas cruisers, 49,000. So that's their heavy cruiser analog. There we go. Right. Time to get turret number 2 going. So, what do we have? Activate stage 1. Come on. Give me stage 2. Clunk and fire. And then just go. Second anti-proton beam is in. We have one more to go. And what looks like 3 Nicors on escort. Well, Fire everything. Come on, all over. No, there's one. Dump a turret. Just force the overshoot. Runabout has actually rather unhelpfully tracked at it. One of the few times the tracked beam did not help. Come on. Rapid fire again. 2 and 3. Down you go. Down you go, mate. Minute 30 left on the clock. Keep the fire coming. Pour it on. Boom. Right, activate. Stage 1. Stage 2. And stage 3. Three weapons active, 1 to go. Can we do this in time? We have about 60 seconds. Right, fire everything. Activate stage 1. Right, can't do that while we're being shot at. Fine. Little unfortunate. We'll just have to finish this very quickly. Come on, fire everything. Get the beam going. Thank you. That knockback, by the way, is coming from the Undine beam weapons. All of their beam attacks have this proc chance. Okay, done. Right, activate stage 1. Time. Enhanced before power is lost. Come on, give me stage 2. Come on. Done! Okay, capture a Romulan pointer known to the host wars. Okay, activate stage 3 very quickly. Give me that. That may have just been a coincidence. Fire. Defeat the incoming Undine to destroy the rift. We have a Vela heavy bioship. Let us have an epic battle! Since I can't have a 100-foot long battle. Alright, you want to summon a rift, do you? Fine, you can play that game. I should probably not try to fly right through it. Have my own subspace rifts. There's something we borrowed from the Elachi. Helps if I actually hit the button. There we go. Okay, loop around. Just about got the 4 guns into line. Tactical team, rapid fire, torp spread. Fire everything. Did I just miss with the phaser lance? Boom! The rift is destroyed. Kapla! As it should be. Yes, the only way they could improve on that, I think, is to have a 100-foot long bat'leth on the front of a vulture flown into the rift by a crew of suicidal Klingons. That is definitely the way to go, and someone else must have got the Romulan rift at the time. So we have 30% control. I don't think we are going to get anything else without some more people. So let's move on. There is a new instance, a second new instance in fact, called Viscous Cycle. Now if I can remember where I left the button. There we go. And also this is a new thing as well. You now have featured episodes are in a separate window. Or at least a separate tab, so they're quick and easy to find. Undine Assault, brand new. Again, highlighted and marked. However, we want Viscous Cycle. So, 3 people there. You never know, we might just get an instance this time. So, what else is there to cover while we're waiting for this to pop? Well, they did say there had been some changes to Earth's Spacedock, so let's go have a quick look again. And is it me, or has Earth been... Is Earth suddenly bigger than it was? Yes, I think it is. Much bigger. They've also added some more detail. We now have the external dry docks as well. Let's head on in. Maybe we're just much, much closer to the planet than we were, but it's certainly a better idea of the size. And the moon is now in the correct phase relative to the sun. Speaking of which, the sun's kind of pretty as well. Let's just track on in. Now in Spacedock control area. Dock. Still need to replace that guy's background. In fact, they need to replace that guy full stop. On the other hand, I suppose since he is up in the control area somewhere on deck 322, who knows, maybe he doesn't need to be fixed. Okay, so Club 47 is still very much a work in progress. I believe word is that it is not going to be done in time for Season 9, because see, they've added some tweaks, particularly window frames. That will make it easier to spot the glass. Hopefully people will not need to be carted off to the nearby sick bay because they broke their nose. We also have a damage control locker here. Maybe that's an interactable at some point. Or maybe it's just a convenient source for fire extinguishers, because hey, you can never have enough halon gas floating around Starfleet's premier base. Things have generally been prettied up. We now have some more decals on the walls, and of course, more to the point, requisitions. Everything is now marked. Transporter, sickbay, etc, etc. Club 47, I assume, will get its sign eventually. Oh, they've got some greenery in. That's not bad at all. And mail tabs. That flash red. Yes, it did. Now, I wonder, is that because mine... No, it's just an attention getter. My mail tab isn't flashing. The bank tab is flashing as well. That's just a quiet little here I am, paying me some attention. Okay, what else have we got? They've moved the ships around as well. Okay, well, let's toddle over. What have we got? So we have what looks like either an Akira or the carrier version. Ooh, a Nova down close. Vesta, Defiant right up close and personal. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Nice to see them bring back some of the classic designs. Even one of their own nods. That's a Cochrane variation in midfield by the look of it. And they've carpeted this up as well. Very nice, very flashy. Okay, and who are you? Ensign Benares. Okay, right, so she's the captain's yacht, and this has been tweaked as well. Avenger Assault Cruiser. Oh, that's a nice touch. These are working through a rotation. Interesting that they are... Oh, is it random? Thunderchild, Vesta, Regent, Avenger. Right, so the timings are random, but the sequence might not be. Still, it's a nice touch, and it's better than the Odyssey hologram we had before. Let me see, we also have some turbo lifts. Now, as I understand it, this is supposed to be a way up to the walkway. Okay. Deck 47, upper walkway. Oh, very nice. Very flashy indeed. A couple of pads, nice bit of detailing. A couple of ensigns sneaking the Romulan ale up here. That stuff's only supposed to be in the club, guys. And generally a much nicer view of the base. And Earth as well. Okay, so that's a quick way down. Now, there was also Deck 87 red, wasn't there? Let's go try that. See where that takes us. Turbo lift, please. Deck 47 main concourse. And Deck 83 red. Ooh. Okay, so this is our new foundry hub, as it were, and they've prettied up the interior. This looks like a tweak of the Origin class interior hulls. Even though it's not optimized, to a large extent, my frame rate has just tanked completely. I'm sure you're noticing stutters in the video as well. It would be nice to see this in the foundry once it's been patched up and working. That's a really nice interior. Just add some decals on the walls, some LCARS interfaces, tweak up the doors, and obviously solve the optimization problem. Deck 47 main concourse, there we are. Also, thought occurs that perhaps putting the spawn point actually in the turbolift car would be less of an immersion breaker. Okay, what else do we have? A lot of loading for a start, that's a surprise. He's still tabbing the wrong thing. And the shuttle bay, well, supposedly this is going to be off limits. Okay, it looks like, yeah, they fixed it. The gits. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, so you now have the option to take a shuttle down to the Academy. I wonder... The thought occurs that the Academy shuttle bay is on the upper level. So, where's this going to put us? Oh, right, new screenshots as well. Yeah, loading screens have been changed and reworked. No, it just beamed us down. It would be nice to have access to the Academy shuttle bay if you come down via this option. Is that fountain new? Are those fountains new, or am I just not paying attention? Okay. So, let's see if we can actually get to the Academy shuttle bay from here. Has the lighting been tweaked in here? I mean, those are new LCARS panels. I think those have been changed, but the lighting's definitely got a bluish cast that wasn't here before. It's actually slightly off-putting. Or maybe it's my monitor. Don't think so, though. I've not played with any display settings. And no, we don't have access to the Academy shuttle bay. That's kind of unfortunate. Still, can't have everything. Again, Chishen needs its background updated. Apparently it's not developing that on the fly. And just quickly back to the starbase. So, has anything else changed? Well, let's go take a quick look down in Spacedock Ops. Because if they tweak the size of Earth down below... Well, you have to assume that they will tweak this at some point. But they've tweaked the fleet yards as well. That ambassador is further back than it was. Maybe they plan to increase the size of the Earth later. That sounds like a weird thing to say. Security officer is down here. Again, needs her background updated. Okay, damage control locks again. Okay, so Earth's Spacedock has been generally prettied up, which is no bad thing. That is now looking much, much nicer. They just need to fix it, and whoa. Okay, that's a bit better than the usual shuttlecraft you get flying about for ambience. I assume it's doing laps every so often. What's this? First aid kit. Nice touch. Also, bank and mail terminals have been put in. Where does this turbolift go, if anywhere? Nope, no, authorised personnel only. By order of Directive 49001A. Also, that map's been tweaked. Alpha, Beta quadrants. Okay, that's a nice touch. The Sirius block is now up to date. Anything worth mentioning? No. Klingon Nausicaan fleet dispositions, Federation fleet dispositions. No great plot spoilers to be had there. If there was an Undine marker, say, right by Earth, it might have been an interesting little plot measurement. However, we also have some scale measurements here for the quadrants. So, let's see, what else? Oh yes, PvP. Now, this one is worth mentioning in detail. Prior to now, most PvP queues have been Federation versus Klingon. They are now all versus all, with almost no exceptions. I believe Kerat, the PvPvE Warzone, might still be faction segregated, but these days it's just have yourself a blast, guys. Also, there's now an unteamed queue specifically, so that you can't have a pre-made versus 5 individuals getting stomped into the ground. Good to see that come along. Hopefully it will go some way to pushing PvP back up people's agendas if they know they can join that queue and they won't necessarily get smooshed into the ground by the first pre-made that comes along. Anyhow, ooh, there's a Prometheus out there as well. Very shiny. That pretty much wraps it up for this version of the Time Warp, ladies and gentlemen. There will be more. There are other changes that I haven't mentioned, but we shall see. Until next time, farewell.